Good morning, PE 101 students. This is going to be your second lecture. Last week was our first lecture and we talked about the benefits of exercise. This week we're going to be talking about SMART goals and habit loop. It's a book created by Charles Duhigg and we'll get to that in just a second. So, SMART goals. We're just going to get right into it. It's our first acronym of the quarter. It'll be the first out of, I believe, 3 SMART goals, the FIT principle, as well as the sport principle. But the SMART goals that I'm going to talk about today, if you were to just Google SMART goals, it'll be mostly consistent with what I'm going to lecture on today, but there might be slight nuances. So the S is always going to be specific. Whenever you're trying to create a goal, it's going to have some specificity towards your goal. If I'm a basketball athlete, I'm not going to be making a goal specific to wrestling takedowns. All right? So that's going to be the S. S is for specific. M is for measurable. Okay? It's going to have an objective number associated with it, typically. So it's not going to be, I want to get better at something. It'll be, I want to improve my mile time by 10 seconds. That's more objective, okay? It's something that we can measure scientifically and on the field. A is for actionable, okay? This is going to be where things start to change sometimes. Some people say achievable or attainable, and traditionally I think that works. But actionable, I like actionable better because it makes sure that you're setting the goal and you're taking steps to get there, okay? So you're having that action step to start your goal, all right? Attainable and achievable are essentially the same as the next point, which is realistic or relevant, all right? Relevant, people say as well, but I think it's just a simile for specific, okay? I think realistic is a better term to use. We don't want to set a goal that we don't think that we can actually get to. Again, we want to set big goals, but we want to set multiple SMART goals to get there. All right. So I would not set a SMART goal to be able to dunk a basketball. Okay. There's no way that I'm going to add 45 inches onto my vert within the next 3 months. Okay. So the last one is time bound. T is for time bound, time sensitive, timely. It has to have a timestamp on it. So now that we've kind of went through it, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, or time bound, your assignment is essentially going to be setting a SMART goal for the quarter. In the next portion of this video, you're going to be doing your first fitness test for the quarter, and it'll be involving push-ups, burpees, as well as a max effort wall sit. So you can totally set a SMART goal for the parameters of those tests. Let's say you're trying to improve your push-ups. I want to get better at my upper body strength this quarter. That's not specific enough. What do you want to improve about your upper body? There's nothing to measure there. It might be something that's attainable, but it's not actionable. You don't have any steps to get there. Is it realistic? We don't know. We don't know if you want to be able to bench press 400 pounds or bench press 45 pounds. And lastly, it does not have a timestamp on it. Okay? So here's an example of a better SMART goal that you can set for this quarter. I want to improve on my upper body musculature by doing 25 consistent push-ups with good form by June 1st. Okay, so if we take that statement, you have a timestamp on it already, June 1st. All right. You are improving your upper body musculature by doing push-ups, so that's specific already. And you have a number that you're associating with it. Did I say 25 or 30? I think I said 30. So you have a number that you're shooting for. And let's say that you can do already 20 push-ups consistently, and the number that you're getting to is 30. That's specific enough. All right, or that's a number that's realistic enough in the future. If you're trying to do 150, that might be worth taking a step back for. We're not trying to just do one big goal for a New Year's resolution, let's say. If you have a big New Year's resolution, awesome, but set 3 or 4 goals to get there. The idea with these SMART goals is that they're short term. And if you're not sure if your goal is specific enough or if it's something that's not attainable or realistic within the parameters of this quarter, that's A-okay. Shoot me an email, send me a Canvas message, and we can talk online. We can also Zoom, okay? So, that's going to be part one of your assignment for SMART goals. The second portion is going to be regarding habit loop. So with habit loop, this is a book created by, written by Charles Duhigg. It's also been researched by MIT. Typically it takes 66 days in a row to actually create a habit that is sustainable, okay? And college is probably one of the most influential times in your life that you're going to be able to create habits and keep them going, because this is now when you're an adult, all right? The three things that you need for a habit, according to Charles Duhigg, are a cue, a routine, and a reward, okay? So a cue, a routine, and a reward. The way that I like to look at it, and try to make it a little bit easier to remember, is that if we're trying to create a habit, we want to create a cue, okay? And then we want to recognize the routine that we're actually trying to achieve. The routine is essentially the habit itself. And then we're going to be able to reap the rewards of that habit. So we can take habit formation. Let's say it's spring quarter, sun's coming out earlier, all right? And you want to wake up more earlier. The way that I tried to start waking up earlier is I created a cue. My cue was this sunlight. I got this on Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks or something like that. And I would put my alarm on my phone behind this. So my bed's right here. I put my light right here, and I put my phone over here. So then I would turn this on, and it would be a bright, blinding light, and it would immediately make me wake up. But this is the cue that I had. Okay? It can be really, really simple. Simple does not mean easy though. Simple, a lot of the times, can be very, very difficult. That was the cue that I used. And then, so I already had recognized the routine that I wanted to start, which was waking up earlier at 5:30 in the morning, essentially beating the sun up and making sure that I woke up before everyone else did. And then I was able to reap the rewards of that, okay? I was able to have increased my time productivity in the morning. Be able to drink my coffee, do some programming online before anybody was awake. I'd be able to go to the gym at 6 and get there when no one was there. And it was awesome. It was an awesome way to start my mornings. So for your second portion of the homework assignment, it's going to be writing out a habit loop for something that you think that you want to improve on, or a habit that you want to break, okay? So that's going to be part 2 of your lecture assignment. So we're going to review the hip flow. You're going to start with your 60 seconds of jumping jacks. Then after your 60 seconds of jumping jacks, again, it's going to be rule of 3. So I'm going to be hip hinging 3 times. I'm going to go through it a little faster. Hips go back towards the wall, and then on your third one, you walk it out into your push-up position. Over here. And then you're going to be doing your inchworm. So over here. And after 3 of those, you're going to bring your left foot up. You should be able to wiggle the toes. Knee stays stacked over heel. Elbow to the ground. Abducting and externally rotating the knee now, or the leg, and reaching towards the ceiling. I'm just going to do 1, but you're supposed to be doing 3 of those. Then you do the other side. Elbow to the ground, turn the knee out, reach to the ceiling. Again, you do 3. Then we're going to come back. You do your Cossack squats, facing this way, finger guns, and then facing this way. Okay? Then you get 3 of those on the left side, switch it over, 3 of those on the right side. Back to push-up position. We're going to go quadruped plank, facing this way. Hips to the ceiling, 3 of them, and then I'll go back this way. And now upward dog, and then downward dog. And 3 of those on each. Then walk your feet outside your hands, just like if we were finishing our burpee. And now left hand grabs inside the thigh, right hand reaches above and towards the ceiling. Don't just rest here, be active with it, try to elongate the spine and look. Then 3 of these. and that'll be your hip flow. All right, so now we're going to go over workout number 2 and workout number 3. Last week was your first real workout. You had your hip flow that you learned, and I'm going to review that today, as well as you did your 4 rounds of 4 push-ups, 8 squats, 12 lunges, and 16 jumping jacks. For most people that have submitted their assignments at this time, that was anywhere from like a 3 to a 7. Push-ups typically were the hardest for the upper body, and lunges, surprisingly, were the hardest for the lower body. Most people finished it with anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, including the warm-up. But today, is going to be your baseline for the quarter, and you're going to be completing a max effort push-up test. So we're going to go over push-up form again, and we can increase the range of motion, decrease the range of motion, all to fit your needs. We can do push-ups on our knees, or on our toes. You're going to be doing a max effort push-up test, okay, to test out your muscular strength and or endurance, depending on where you fall in that category. And then you're going to be doing a 60-second burpee test, all right? I'm going to go over burpee form in a second. And you're also going to be doing a max effort wall sit test, which is going to be testing out your lower extremity muscular endurance. So this will require you to have a watch and a wall that you feel comfortable pressing into. You're going to be doing your max effort push-up test first. So you'll get into the position. Let's say that I want to be doing push-ups for my knees. Hopefully y'all can see this. We're doing push-ups from our knees, and we do not feel comfortable going all the way to the ground. Let's say it hurts the shoulder as we come past 90 degrees. Take a pillow or a foam roller. Anything that's going to decrease that range of motion. You're still going to be getting a benefit from doing push-ups, but we don't want to be doing this to cause pain. Okay, we want to be doing this to increase our strength, actually to prevent pain and reduce injuries, all right? So if I was to do this on the ground, the way that I'm looking at it, you're not going to be able to see what my hands are doing, but I'm actively corkscrewing my elbows backwards to kind of turn on these muscles. And then I'm also thinking about putting my shoulder blades in my back pocket. If you were to do that right now, you can put one hand on your lat, this big upper body back muscle, and you're turning your pinkies down towards the ground and your shoulder blades down to the ground as well. For your push-ups, that's where we're going to be. So you'll just do as many as you can. We're not resting at the bottom, so you're going to be going up. You can rest at the top here. We're not trying to do any of this and resting the shoulders. Just go for as many as you can before form breakdown starts, okay? So I don't want to see any bowing backs. I don't want to see any Mount Everests. Just cores on right here, okay? So you'll record that, and for your summary portion of this lecture, you're just essentially going to be telling me how many push-ups you do, how many burpees you do, and how long your wall sit is for your first portion, and then you have a second workout that's going to be more core heavy. So that's for push-ups. For burpees, I'm going to go over form. I'm going to show it front first, and then I'll show you from the side with our burpees. All right, we start with our little jump. It doesn't have to be a huge jump. For some of you that are tall, we don't want to go through the ceiling. All right, we're going to do jump, and then I'm going to come over here. Then you're going to hinge at the hip just like we do in our hip flow. All right, and then my hands are going to come to the ground like we're going to do our inchworm. All right, hips going back, and you can do either a step to your push-up position or a hop back, up to you. And then you'll descend into your push-up, and if you want to, you can go to your knees up here and then do a step and then come back up, or I'll make it a little more fluid this time. You do jump, jump back, descend into push-up, push-up, feet go outside hands, so my hips are coming back, and then back up. So I'm going a little bit wider than you anticipate. What we don't want to see is here and our knees coming inside our hands. And if you were to look from the side, I'm in a very, very flexed position with my spine. My knees are over my toes. I don't have a solid base with my feet. So what I want to see more so, really won't have room here, but hips going out, relatively neutral spine, then coming up, hands go overhead. So I'll try to string a few together. we're looking to try to maintain the core tension the whole time and not getting those wiggle wobbles, all right? So when you're doing those push-ups for your burpees, that's essentially what you're doing. This core is going into the ground, keeping tension the whole time. I'd rather have you do 3 burpees within those 60 seconds that are perfect, okay, than 12 bad ones, all right? Let me step back a little bit. Now, for the last portion of your battery of tests, it's going to be a max effort wall sit. My knees are staying over my heels. I'm not going here. And I have open hips. My bum is on the wall. My back is on the wall. I'm trying to press my belly button into the back of the wall as well. We don't want resting hands, but they don't have to be overhead. And we're just looking for a max effort time, okay? Before you start sinking, before this starts happening, right when you start to get wobbly and you feel like you're gonna fall over, then press up against the wall and you're done. Okay, we're not looking for valgus knees in here. We want to make sure that back is pressed up against the wall the whole time. And that is your max effort wall sit. Okay, for your second workout, it's going to be the first AMRAP that we do. AMRAP stands for as many rounds and or reps as possible. Okay, so we're going to be doing this for 10 consistent minutes. Try to keep a steady pace, all right? The first thing you're going to be doing is a dead bug. For our dead bug, this is going to be one of the primary exercises we do for our core. As soon as my legs come up, my core turns on. And as soon as my core turns on, my back stays flat. You're going to maintain whatever... You're going to maintain... Bless me. Okay, we're good. You're going to maintain whatever portion of your back that is on the ground, but if my back's flat and then I come up, and then I get tired, and my back starts to do that, that's not alright, okay? So, the idea with our dead bugs, I'm going to flip this way. The idea with the dead bug is that our belly button, the whole time is going into the back of our spine, and I'm just going to be doing the feet at first, just to test those out. You can do just the hands, running out of room. But, what I want you to go for is our contralateral dead bugs. Essentially what that's going to look like with a contralateral dead bug is opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay? At this end range of motion, you can just hold for a second. We don't want our back to come off. We want to stay core is strong, belly button in at that longest lever point. Okay? It's not something you're going to be doing just for speed. So we're not doing that. It's going to take a little bit of coordination. Alright? And you're going to be going for 20 of them. This will also test the endurance of your hip flexors as well, and a little bit of mobility going overhead. So you're going to be doing 20 dead bugs, okay? 20 total dead bugs. Then you'll be doing bird dogs. Essentially, bird dog is a dead bug but flipped over. So now we're going to be on our hands and knees. And you'll be doing the same thing. It's going to take a little bit of balance as your 4 legs of your table are going to be going onto 2 legs. I'm reaching with my heel and my hand going long ways, not tall ways, okay? This is extension in the back. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure everything's consistent. I'm driving my heel through the back wall, not tall up here, okay? So this is still transverse abdominis, overall core strength and stability. You're going to be getting 20 of these, so that'll be 10 on each side. 20 total dead bugs, 20 total bird dogs. And then you're going to be doing a 20 breath plank. So, during this plank, the idea is that you're going to try to slow down your breathing into a consistent pace. Try to breathe through your nose, which is something that it's really hard. I'm terrible at it. I'm trying to get better at it, especially during spring allergies. It's exceptionally difficult. But with your planks, we're going to go low plank for this. You can do this on your knees or on your toes. And you're just counting. Inhale and exhale. And you're going to try to get to 20. Right when you start, check your time, make sure it's on. And then once it hits 10 minutes, you're done. Try to keep track of how many rounds you get and how many repetitions. So let's say you get through 3 total rounds and you're on your 14th dead bug, okay? So you'd write 3 rounds plus 14 dead bugs. If you get to bird dogs, you can just write 3 rounds plus 14 bird dogs, and I know that you already did those 20 dead bugs and had completed about half of your bird dogs. Okay, let me know if you have any questions regarding this AMRAP. It's the first AMRAP and it's going to be more core intensive. This will be the easier portion of the workouts. All right, in summary, today we lectured on SMART goals and the habit loop. So in the SMART goals, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. And the habit loop, you have to create a cue, recognize the routine that you want, and then reap the rewards of that routine, of that habit that you're creating. It takes a little bit longer than you think, and that's okay if you mess up. We all mess up, but it's how we're failing and how we learn from those failures that's really going to improve our mentality going into building a smarter and stronger body. So that was the lecture portion of the material. For your workout today, or I should say for the lecture portion, you're going to have an assignment that's not this summary. Your assignment will be to create the SMART goal and the habit loop, and that'll be a 1-point assignment. And then you're going to have the half-a-point lecture material, or half-a-point summary that you're going to do. That's going to have the amount of burpees that you completed, or in this order it'll go amount of push-ups that you completed for your max effort push-up test, and then amount of burpees that you completed for your max effort 60-second burpee test, and then how long in seconds were you able to hold an optimal position in your wall sit. That will be your summary portion. And then for the second portion of the workout, you're just going to write how many repetitions and how many rounds you had with your 10-minute AMRAP of 20 dead bugs, 20 bird dogs, and a 20 breath plank. And you'll just rinse and repeat through for 10 minutes.